Have you ever risked buying an airsoft gun that has no reviews? Well, in today's video, I did just that. I bought a whole bunch of different airsoft guns that have never been reviewed. Will I find a whole bunch of hidden gems, or will this be a complete disaster? There's only one way to find out.
And after I test each airsoft gun, I'm gonna leave its first review.
Let's jump straight into the first airsoft gun of the video.
This is the Avengers full metal full size M9 spring powered airsoft pistol.
Obviously, the first thing that stands out to me is this crazy blue color. I mean, this thing literally looks like a blue law enforcement training pistol. And that is not a compliment. Those things look terrible. And of course, with a $20 price tag, this thing is definitely gonna have some issues. Off the bat, the trigger is not even like stable at all. It feels like it's gonna like fall off. That is so bad. And right when we put in the mag, it's already trying to fall out. Even the website that sells this doesn't even trust it either. They don't even offer the warranty that they standardly do on all the airsoft guns on the website. That's pretty bad. All right, first shot. Ugh. I probably shouldn't be surprised, but 141.4 FPS. It's crazy like how hard it is to like cock back the slide, and the FPS is so low, it doesn't make any sense. Ugh. All right, so FPS is not this guy's specialty apparently, but let's see if it can make it up at the shooting range.
Real quick before we move on to the shooting test, let's talk about today's sponsor
that made this whole video possible, War Thunder. War Thunder is an immersive, free-to-play military action game featuring intense battles with land, sea, and air vehicles from the last 100 years of warfare. This game is free to play on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and mobile devices. War Thunder spices up your already intense gameplay by providing players with advanced military technology, including guided missiles, active protection systems, smoke screens, thermal imaging, and if that's not enough, War Thunder also provides players with deployable reconnaissance and attack drones. That's right, attack drones. Or even the ability to launch a nuclear strike to reshape the battlefield. And my favorite part about the game is all the vehicles can be upgraded and customized. And players can customize their appearance with numerous skins and visual elements so you can give your favorite vehicles your personal touch. And the recent Firebirds update, War Thunder now supports ray tracing, which allows players to see fully realistic shadows, lighting, and reflections. And the numerous improvements in graphics and effects make the epic battles even more immersive. And for the first time ever, War Thunder has now introduced the F-117 stealth aircraft, as well as the latest models of the F-15 and the Su-34 fighter jets. And get this, new players or those who have taken a break longer than 6 months or more will unlock exclusive bonuses. And that includes the unique Eagle of Valor decorator and 100,000 silver lions and more rewards. And for a thrilling experience on the go, try War Thunder Mobile, the action-packed multiplayer game for iOS and Android. Download War Thunder and play for free today using the top link in my description down below. Thank you again, War Thunder, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's go back to the video. We're gonna start this thing easy with our little rangefinder. We are about 50 feet away. So let's just test this out. My confidence is not very high now. Bruh. That went shooting so far to the right. I'm aiming like to the left of the target. It's not even hitting the middle. Oh, nice. I'm not used to holding in the magazine while I'm firing. That's also adding some difficulty as well. With the iron sights, like here's the middle, right? I'm aiming all the way over here to like get it to shoot in the middle. That is so bad. Okay, so maybe 50 feet was a little bit too optimistic for this one. All right, we're maybe like 25 feet away. Who even knows anymore? This better hit the middle or else I'm gonna be pretty upset. Brother, I'm literally having the iron sights aimed up right here, like not even close to the target. And that's only like 20-25 feet away. That is just embarrassing, my friend.
And now it's time to give a review of the Blue M9. And well, this will come to no surprise, but for the final review for the Avengers M9 is 1.5 stars. And my official statement is, at least it kind of shoots though.
Have you ever wanted an airsoft gun that's gonna break before you get to shoot it one time? Well, look no further than the Avengers Series Tactical M4. This absolute unit of an Airsoft M4 comes in at $24.95, and well, it's a little smaller than I was imagining. It only weighs in at 2 pounds. My favorite thing about this is actually the features that are listed on the website for it. They don't waste a second telling you that the Avengers Tactical M4 features a weighted detachable magazine. Yeah, you heard that right. They're bragging that the magazine actually comes out of the Airsoft M4. That's crazy. Instead of that being a normal thing that M4s do, like pretty much all M4s do that, it's actually a special feature. And of course, like all normal M4s, you could take the stock system off if you wanted to, because that's normal, right? And of course, the fun does not stop there. As we were unboxing it, we ran into a little bit of a difficulty. Wow, this feels super cheap. Oh! What the? Bruh! I literally broke it. No way. Nice. I'm still not even sure if this is gonna work. Let's go ahead and do an FPS test and see how it does. Oh boy. My hopes for this are not the best, obviously. Let's see how it does. Nope. Oh, yep. Didn't even feed. Nope. Nice. What a surprise. The $20 M4 doesn't work. Never would have expected that. That's probably a record for me breaking an airsoft gun that fast. I mean, not even one BB through that is just embarrassing.
This should come at no surprise, but my official rating for the Avengers Spring M4 is 1 star. And my official statement is, it broke before I could shoot it one time. Stay away, friends. At all costs.
Have you ever been in the market for a UMP45 or an AR-15 and you can't decide? Well, here is the solution. This is the UTR-45. It is listed for a very competitive price at $189. We also get some cool accessories in the box as well. You of course get the gun and the magazine in a pretty colorful package. You get 2 flip-up iron sights as well as 3 rail segment covers as well as 2 rail Picatinny segments. The UTR-45C actually comes with lots of features. And of course, one of the main highlights is the Falcon electronic control system.
For an example, here are some of the really cool features from the Falcon ECU. We have 3-round burst, we have 6-round burst, we of course have binary mode, and we have high sensitivity mode with pre-cocking available so it shoots really fast as well.
Also features a quick change spring system, 8mm steel bearings, and a rotary hop-up. So far, this thing actually feels pretty good, has some cool accessories, has a competitive price, and is LiPo ready. So why is there no reviews? Well, let's go ahead and run a shooting test and a chronograph test and see if we can find any like crazy hidden issues. Or this thing might just be a hidden gem. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alrighty, first shot, not too bad. Perfectly what I'd want for a CQB submachine gun. We got 349.1 FPS. Alright, after taking a few shots, it looks like the average is about 341 FPS, which honestly for a CQB submachine gun, that's honestly probably just where I'd want it. We are using a 7.4 volt LiPo, so it's with the RPSs. Alright, of course, for the price bracket, pretty much what I expected, about 12.7 rounds a second.
Starting out this submachine gun pretty easy with a 75-foot headshot test, and to no surprise, the UTR-45 had a super good grouping at this distance. Now let's actually challenge it a bit more and scoot back a little bit further.
Alright, we are now 150 feet away. It's going to be quite a challenge for a submachine gun. Let's see if we can do it. So the airsoft gun itself actually can shoot a target about human size 150 feet away, but is it accurate? No.
So we gave this submachine gun one last chance at 125 feet.
But as you can see at 125 feet, the results are way more consistent. All right, so my final thoughts on the UTR-45. I think overall, because of the exterior quality and that really nice MOSFET in here, it makes it actually a pretty good deal for the price. Obviously, the shooting test, I wanted to have a little bit better results, but for $190 and only a 240mm barrel, and of course, in a submachine gun platform, I can't really complain too much. With all these things considered, here is my final review.
I'm going to rate this UTR-45 a solid 4 out of 5 stars. And my final statement is solid for the price. I'd recommend if you're in the market for a budget-friendly submachine gun.
Next up, we have the Windgun Model 3 1877 break top airsoft revolver. This revolver comes in at $175. And well, as you can see, it's a very shiny boy that needs a review. And as you can probably tell from your side of the screen, this one is a very heavy revolver at over 2 pounds. It is a fully CO2 powered pistol. To power it up, it uses 12 gram CO2 cartridges. And of course, to access the area to put in the CO2 cartridges, all you have to do is come to the bottom and undo that little latch. The whole grip panel will actually come off, revealing the mechanism to put in the CO2 cartridge. All you have to do now is drop it in there and screw the bottom screw to pierce the CO2 cartridge in the grip system. And of course, my favorite feature is the break action design, true to its real gun counterpart. It makes taking out these shells and reloading more super fun. All right, CO2 pistols usually shoot pretty hot, so let's see what the FPS is. Not what I expected. The first shot was 244.6 FPS with only 0.56 joules. Let's do one more shot and see if that's just a fluke. Damn. I mean, it seems like it's shooting hard, but honestly, not really. The second shot was 240 FPS with 0.45 joules. This is like the least FPS CO2 pistol I've ever seen in my life. For reference, even some airsoft fields I actually go to don't even chronograph green gas pistols, but CO2 pistols, they definitely check because of how crazy these normally shoot. But in this case, FPS is not this one specialty. Yeah, now it's even shooting lower, 236 that time. But we'll make up for it in the shooting test. Let's go ahead and find out. Okay, so this thing does have a hobble, but it is a fixed one, so we don't know the exact range we're going to be able to hit with it. Let's go ahead and start out at about 75 feet away and see if we can hit some good shots. Oh, nope. That's some terrible range. Let's try one more just to make sure. Yeah, no, there is zero range with this one. Let's scoot it up to maybe about 50 feet and give it another try. Still, oh my gosh, the range is terrible. Let's aim way above the target and see if that helps. Okay, yeah, a little bit better. Wow, these iron sights are bad too. Yeah, this thing is terrible. All right, scooting up even more with this bad boy. That's embarrassing. For $175, yeah, this thing is definitely not for performance. There we go, and still not even quite to the middle. Now, at least the grouping size is not the worst I've ever seen, but yeah, I had to aim with the iron sights actually on this top right corner right here. And that's at like, I don't even know, 30, 40 feet away max. That is just embarrassing for this, especially $175. So what is my overall conclusion on the Windgun Model 3 1877 revolver? The first thing I do like is the actual realism of the system itself. It feels like you're holding a real revolver, it has the weight to it, and everything feels very high quality. The only thing I didn't like about the actual external quality is the actual grip panels on the side. They are imitation wood, but it just feels really, really cheap. I do also like how this thing is actually field legal for the FPS as well, but of course, like you guys saw in the shooting test, this thing is not gonna really get anyone out. The range and accuracy are absolutely horrendous. I'd say overall, this thing is definitely more of a gimmick if you're super into break top revolvers, but the performance was really lackluster. I think in general, the quality is there, but for the price and the performance, it just doesn't line up.
So considering all this, I'm gonna have to give this revolver a 2.5 stars, unfortunately. And my review is good quality, but I'd rather use a spring pistol to get people out on the field.
Next up, we have a not so ordinary Airsoft M4. This is the Armament Ur X3. And what makes this thing so special is it has a force recoiled engine from GNP inside. And what does that mean exactly? Well, standard Airsoft electric M4s do not actually have any type of a kickback feature. That's mostly reserved for gas blowback rifles. But with this one, it actually has a full system inside the engine, obviously the buffer tube itself, to make it so that every time you pull the trigger, there is a slight kickback when you actually shoot it. Although it does annoy me because you can't actually have a battery in the buffer tube where it's nice and big back here. You actually have to have the wiring come out of the front handguard. Let's first check out what you get in the package.
Guys, I literally can't make this up. This is literally how it came outside of the box that I got all of the airsoft guns in. It literally has no top to it. All it has is a brown piece of paper covering it. You have to be kidding me for a $300 airsoft gun.
Bro, this is the worst wrapping I've ever seen of an airsoft gun in my life. What is this? And this is expensive too.
Let's go over some of the features. You better like some trades when buying this one, as it has quite a lot of Knight's armament trades. It has a dimpled style barrel mimicking the KAC's heat dissipation and weight reduction design, and of course a 10.5-inch Ur X3 rail, and features a LiPo-ready GMP 8mm gearbox. In theory, this one seems really cool and very unique with this type of engine, but of course there is no reviews, so why the heck is no one buying this thing? And that of course leads us into our shooting test and chronograph test. Let's go ahead and test it out and see how it does. All right, don't judge me. I don't have a PEQ battery box, so that's the next best thing. Brother, damn. First shot out of the box, 427.3 FPS with 1.7 joules. Out of the box with a 7.4 volt LiPo, looks like we're getting about 426 FPS. I'm actually gonna think the RPS is actually a little bit lower than it would normally be for an AEG, so let's actually see how it goes. I'm really curious. Okay, all right, actually way higher than I thought it was gonna be. The RPS is 11.9 rounds a second, but I bet you with the 11.1, it'll shoot even crazier. Actually, I do have some 11.1s. Let's actually go ahead and test that out. All right, the website only says 7.4 volt LiPo recommended, so I hope this 11.1 doesn't blow it up, but there's only one way to figure that out. Damn, okay, that actually increased the FPS a lot. For that burst, we got 20 rounds a second, almost doubling the FPS with a 11.1 volt LiPo. That's pretty crazy.
Starting this rifle off at the 75-foot shooting test, as you could see, this thing was not struggling whatsoever.
We are definitely ramping up the difficulty at this range. Let's see how it does. The BBs weren't exactly gliding to the target blissfully, but at least it hit the target pretty well. So although you can hit a human-sized frame or probably even farther away than 150 feet away, the grouping size is not going to be too impressive with this one. All right, my overall conclusion with the Knight's Armament Ur X3. At first glance, this thing actually seems to be pretty good on paper. It has a unique recoil engine that not a lot of AEGs actually have. It has a very high quality finish for the externals. I think the performance was okay, but obviously for the money, there's lots of airsoft guns at that price point that shoot way better than this thing. But it's pretty hard to hate on it because electric blowback rifles are pretty unique. It's kind of like a weird medium between these super low-end crappy electric blowback guns and these super high-end Tokyo Marui next-gen recoil guns. But overall, for $300, I just wanted it to shoot a little bit better. Is it a bad airsoft rifle by any means? Definitely not. But would I be recommending this to anyone else? Probably not.
I'm gonna give this one the benefit of a doubt. It's kind of in a weird medium spot between a gas blowback rifle with the good kickback and a performance AEG. So I'm gonna rate this one a 3.5 stars.
The next airsoft gun is an extremely expensive gas blowback pistol. This is the $229 EMG Hudson H9. And actually, surprisingly, before this video, I actually didn't know this existed. First off, let's actually start with some background information on the actual real steel H9 to kind of give us some perspective on what this actually is. The Hudson H9 was actually revealed at SHOT Show in 2017. It gained lots of attention in the firearm industry for its unique design and performance. It was developed over 3 years, and the H9 includes multiple patent pending features that blend a 1911 style pistol with a modern striker fire design. The recoil rod and the spring are positioned in the front of the trigger guard, creating a low bore axis that reduces muzzle flip and results in a straighter recoil impulse, enhancing the accuracy and follow-up shot speed. And now let's talk about this really unique trigger system. If you pull it from the bottom position, you won't even actually be able to pull the trigger, obviously because of the trigger safety mechanism. But if you go more towards the upper middle part or the upper part of the trigger, you'll be easily able to pull back the trigger with the safety mechanism and have no issues. But it definitely takes some time to get used to. I know for myself, I definitely was not used to this and it kind of felt a little weird. I'm still not sure if I actually like it, to be honest. And the size too, it looks kind of honestly a little bit big when you first get it out of the box, but now that I'm kind of used to holding it, it actually is pretty much like a perfect size in my opinion. So was it worth the time and money for EMG to create their own H9 pistol? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's go take it to the shooting range and of course the chronograph and see how it does. With the first shot, pretty healthy FPS just above 300. But with gas blowback pistols, usually they have a little bit of trouble with the consistency once the gas starts to run out in the magazine. So let's go ahead and do 10 shots and see if it's consistent or not. The first couple shots started out about that 300 FPS mark, and throughout the magazine, they basically fell to about 275. A 25 FPS decrease throughout the magazine. It's definitely nothing extremely impressive for the consistency, but for a stock gas black pistol, that's actually not too bad. So far it's pretty good, but obviously this is a $200+ airsoft pistol, so this thing now should shoot pretty damn well to justify that price. Let's go ahead and test it out. Normally I'd probably start a little bit closer with a pistol, but this one is a $220 pistol, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of a challenge. We are 75 feet back. Let's do a headshot test. Yet again, nothing crazy in the middle, but that is a super precise little grouping. All right, this is gonna be a little bit more challenging for the H9. 125 feet away is no joke. Let's see how it does. Oof. Yeah, just not quite there with the range. Looks like the bees are pretty much just hitting the bottom of this target, even with the hop-up turned up. So I'd say the max effective range is probably more like 100 feet. As you can see at 100 feet, we were pretty much aiming up here with the iron sights, and we still weren't really able to get a good grouping on the target. I think the hop-up still needs to be broken in a little bit more because it wasn't really hopping the BBs whatsoever, and I'm pretty sure I turned the setting all the way up. We did get like half the shots kind of on the lower side of the target, but all the rest kind of going to the right, left, up, down, pretty much anywhere but the target. Overall, I think this is a very unique pistol that performs pretty decent, and the quality seems to be very good as well, but just the value for the performance, I think it's a little pricey in my opinion. But if you're really into having a unique pistol experience, and of course want to stand out on the airsoft field and don't care about paying maybe like $50 to $70 more than what the value of the performance is, then I think this pistol's for you.
I'm gonna rate the Hudson H9 a 3.9 stars. I know, kind of random. And for my review, it's very unique and feels amazing in your hand. But for $229, I wish it just shot a little bit better. Overall though, great pistol.
I'm a simple man. When I'm making a video about airsoft guns that haven't been reviewed and I see a CO2 powered lever action shell ejecting airsoft rifle that hasn't had a review yet, I'm gonna buy it. This is the Double Barrel Tactical M1894 CO2 lever action rifle, and it carries a price tag of $299. It has a 10-round internal magazine and a super long 480mm inner barrel, and despite its old school lever action design, it has a crazy 13-inch M-LOK rail on it. It's made up of a full metal construction with imitation wood for the stock. It's pretty funny. For $300, you would think you'd get a little bit of a nicer box, and all you get with this one is just 10 shells, and of course the airsoft gun itself, and the airsoft gun basically held in by zip ties. There's actually zero instructions on how to actually use this, so I had to figure out myself. Basically what you do is actually go back to the stock system back here, rotate it 90 degrees, and then the butt plate of the stock will actually come out. From there, you'll see this little like metal tube kind of looking thing. Yeah, you want to unscrew that. And then once that's unscrewed, you drop 2 CO2 cartridges actually into that little tube. And of course they don't tell you, but you have to actually put them separate ways. And all you have to do is load up a tiny little BB in each one of those shells. And of course you just load them one by one on the side of this little lever action rifle. So you guys probably know how to use lever action rifles. All you have to do is take the bomb right here and put it down, and it loads up the next shell. Is this rifle a simple gimmick, or does it actually have some good performance? Let's go ahead and take it to the chronograph in the shooting range and test it out. Damn, okay, that's not legal. First shot, we got 507.7 FPS, 2.39 joules. Yeah, probably not gonna be able to feel that anywhere, but these shells do eject, so it kind of makes up for it, to be honest. Bruh. Because that is pretty damn cool. Next shot. Ooh, yeah, this thing's shooting hot. All right. Second shot was 485.5 FPS. Okay, blah, 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 it's not field legal, but who's gonna be using a shell ejecting airsoft rifle on the field anyway? This is more just for the giggles. The shell ejecting feature is just so cool. Oh, right when I said that, of course, it just got jammed. Okay, so this thing has a hop up, but it's not adjustable. So finding out the proper range is gonna be a little tricky. All right, 100 feet away, let's start out about there. Oh, it's just so cool. Ooh, okay, maybe not. Oh no, the shell got stuck. Okay, yeah, 100 feet's definitely a little bit too far for this one. Let's scoot up just a little bit. I think we're only gonna be able to shoot this thing about 60, 70 feet away if I were to guess. There we go, okay.
That shell ejecting is so cool. Oof. Just hit myself with the shell. I just hit myself in the head with the shell. That's embarrassing. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna lose a shell or two making this video. Wow, this thing's bad. Well, at least it's pretty cool though. Damn, this thing's so bad. Okay, well, the effective range of this is probably between 50 feet to 75 feet away. Definitely really bad results. But of course, you don't buy this because of the accuracy or range. You buy this because of the really cool shell ejecting feature. Of course, right when I say that, it doesn't go out, but you get the idea. It's pretty cool. All right, my overall conclusion on the lever action rifle. First off, I'm a little biased, but I think it's pretty damn cool. But of course, as you guys saw, that performance is horrendous, especially for $300. Obviously, I kind of came into this knowing it was gonna be a little bit more of a gimmick than a performance rifle because of course it is a shell ejecting one. I mean, it was so bad that you basically can't even use it even if you wanted to at the field. I get it if it was like $150 being that bad at performance and maybe just for the shell ejecting feature to show off to your friends, but for $300, I definitely wanted to see a little bit of performance with this one. Overall, I think this is a very cool airsoft rifle. It's a little hard to load up the shells actually more than you would expect, and the box is super cheap. It basically comes with nothing. But besides those two things, the airsoft gun itself isn't the worst quality. Sometimes the shells don't actually eject like they're supposed to, but for, I would say 85% of the time, it works like it should. So taking in all those considerations, here's my final review.
I rate the M1894 a 2.8 out of 5 stars, and my review is super fun shell ejecting rifle, but wow, it shoots bad. I mean really bad.
For the last airsoft gun in the video, we're gonna go out with a bang and go with the most expensive one yet. This airsoft replica comes in at $389. And this is the EMG F1 Firearms UDR-15. In this price point, you get some pretty cool stuff in the packaging, so let's go ahead and unbox it and see what it comes with.
Ooh, that's nice.
First up, you get a replacement for the orange tip on the amplifier. Next, you get a very helpful little baggie of a red hop-up adjustment tool and a speed loader attachment to load the magazine easier. And last but not least, a super cool jet tag.
It's actually way more lightweight than I thought it was gonna be. Wow, those like skeleton receivers really make a difference. That is crazy.
Let's first go over some of the cool features. The first one is it has a CNC finished aluminum alloy F1 BDR-15 3G skeleton receiver, copying the styling cues of the original rifle. It has a shortened CNC machined aluminum 9.75 C7M contoured M-lock handguard. And boy, does this thing feel nice. And it's pretty insane. These unique handguards are precision cut on advanced 5-axis CNC machines. The intricate design limits the production of these high-end handguards to only 8 units a day. And for the internals, it utilizes the brand new APS G-Box system for the gas blowback system. And it's really cool. On the end of this one, it has the Noveske KX3 muzzle device, inset into the actual handguard with a PDW length barrel for a flush look. This is definitely one of the nicest handguards I've ever felt for an airsoft replica. Of course, the externals is off to an amazing start and pretty much definitely worth the money in my opinion. These are amazing externals. But does that brand new APS G-Box gas blowback system live up to the hype as well? There's only one way to find that out. All right, with this bad boy, the first shot out of the box is 367 FPS with 1.25 joules. And of course, let's see what the RPS is like. That was weird. That didn't feel like any gas rifle kickback I've ever felt in my life. This is pretty cool, honestly. This kickback almost reminds me more of what a gas SMG would feel like with not a lot of kickback than more like an M4. So pretty cool. The kickback is pretty minimal. With that full auto burst, we're getting about 16 rounds a second. All right, let's do 10 shots now and see what the consistency is like. Oh no!
Let's first start out with a 75-foot shooting test. I'm not sure if this thing just needed to break in the hop up, but at 150 feet, this thing definitely did not like to shoot very consistently. So we gave this thing one last try at 125 feet away, and it hit a couple shots, but still was very inconsistent, and we ran into even more problems.
Huh. It's like feeding every other one right now. It's weird. So weird. It's like shooting every other shot. What? What is going on? No BB's coming out. And it still has some in the mag. That's not good. Maybe the rifle's getting a little too cold, but that definitely shouldn't make it stop feeding. That's so interesting. The UDR-15 gas-like rifle. What are our concluding thoughts? Well, starting off a little bit easy on this guy, the externals are amazing. I mean, the quality, the finish, the feel, everything is a 10 out of 10 for the externals. With the APS gas system, at first seemed pretty cool, honestly. At the chronograph, it seemed to be super lightweight kickback and more geared towards performance. But of course, as soon as we really took it to the performance range and tested out the range and accuracy, that's where this thing started to fall behind. At $400, I would definitely expect this thing to shoot at least 150 feet away pretty easily. But at that range, it was definitely suffering pretty bad. But the main problem is after a couple different magazines through it, the system got a little bit cold, I would imagine, and just didn't want to shoot whatsoever. So with all the information I just gave you guys, let's go ahead and get my final review.
I rate this Gasbelec M4 a 3 out of 5 stars. The externals are beautiful, but I had a lot of issues getting any kind of consistency from the internals.
If you guys like this style of video where I buy airsoft guns that have never been reviewed, let me know down in the comments below. I'll definitely do another one. And if you are an OG viewer or a new one, I bet you guys will like these. These are personally recommended videos just for you that YouTube thinks you should watch. That does it for me, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.